Good day everyone, I'm Arachel Estibay and I'll be discussing with you the People Power Revolution. So here are the enabling objectives of my report. The first one is define people power. And the second one is identify the major personalities in People Power Revolution. And the last one is identify the causes of People Power Revolution. So before we begin, do you have any idea what people power is? People power is a term used in politics to describe the populist motivation behind any social movement that appeals to the strength of popular opinion and will. Typically in contrast to those of traditionally organized corporate or political organizations. They are a collection of individuals who are pushing for a change. So let us move on to the next slide. The 1986 People Power Revolution brought together millions of Filipinos from all walks of life to march along Epifanio de los Santos Avenue, the main thoroughfare of Metro Manila, in an effort to overthrow President Ferdinand E. Marcos' dictatorship and usher in a new era of genuine freedom and democracy. As you can see, these are the actual images of Ninoy Aquino that were taken after he was shot. 2 years after the signing of Proclamation No. 2045 on August 21, 1983, which is the end of martial law, an incident shocked the whole Philippines. Senator Benigno Ninoy Aquino was assassinated at the Manila International Airport. So before we proceed with our discussion, let's first establish who Ninoy Aquino is. Ninoy Aquino quickly gained notoriety as a vocal opponent of President Ferdinand Marcos' administration. As a result, he was among the first people detained at the start of martial law and later given a death sentence. On August 21, 1983, Aquino was shot in the head after landing in the country on the tarmac of Mia, which later became his namesake na Iya. His death was attributed to his political rivals, which led to the instability of Ferdinand Marcos' presidency. People started to challenge again Ferdinand Marcos' credibility as a president. After being dared by an American journalist, President Marcos took the challenge and called for a snap election. Ferdinand Marcos asked for a sudden election because he wanted to show the opposition that he could still earn the trust and support of the Filipino people. This election campaign was in full swing from December 19, 1985 until February 5, 1986. The snap election called by Marcos was held on February 7, 1986. The two main candidates were Ferdinand E. Marcos under the Kilusang Bagong Lipunan Party and Corazon C. Aquino for the PDP Laban Party. The United States of America and the Church gave statements supporting Aquino's accession as president. This event is known to be the promoter for the end of the Marcos regime as it brought about the People Power Revolution. The two main candidates, Ferdinand E. Marcos and Corazon C. Aquino, representing the KBL party and the PDP Laban, respectively both won for the election due to the different counting by NAMFREL and the COMELEC. Ferdinand Marcos won in the COMELEC official count, while Corazon Aquino won in the NAMFREL partial and unofficial count. For our first question, what was Ferdinand Marcos' motivation for calling a snap election? Defense Minister Juan Ponce Enrile and General Fidel Ramos defected from the Marcos government on February 22, 1986. Enrile and Ramos barricaded themselves in the Defense Ministry headquarters in Manila, along with a small group of sympathetic troops. According to them, they were prepared to die rather than continue supporting the corrupt Marcos regime. So they joined the group of Corazon Aquino and Salvador Laurel. As you can see, these were the events and circumstances that happened during the People Power Revolution. The EDSA revolution started after Enrile and Ramos disassociated themselves from the Marcos administration. On the first day, people began to assemble at EDSA outside of the Camp Crame. On the second day, February 23, 1986, The rousing call of Jaime Cardinal Sin to the Filipino citizens brought a lot of people to EDSA to support the evanescence of Marcos, and the militaries came riding on tanks war. The Marcos camp threatened the people on the third day that they would attack them, but the strikers' number have continued to grow against his administration. In 3:30 a.m. on the last day, the plan to attack Marcos camp at Camp Crame was postponed due to the powerful force of those who support revolution. The Cory Aquino administration is preparing at the Filipino Club in San Juan for her inauguration as the new president at 8 a.m. She gave Senior Justice Claudio Tihanki her oath of office when she arrived. President Marcos prepared an inauguration for himself in the ceremonial hall of Malacanang as he changed his mind about departing at the palace. Marcos took the oath of office at 11:55 in the morning, but live broadcast of the event was interrupted. The transmitter of the Governor Channel was simultaneously bricked, which is what caused it to be interrupted. However, the Marcos administration filmed Marcos taking the oath of office from Chief Justice Ramon Aquino using movie cameras. After that, he went outside the balcony and showed himself to his supporters.
Change the course of history.
Makita kang sakdal laya.
For our second question, what does the EDSA revolution in our history as a people prove? They also called the EDSA revolution as the Yellow Revolution due to the presence of yellow ribbons during the demonstration that later on led to the departure of President Marcos going to the island of Hawaii. So in summary, let's enumerate the causes of People Power Revolution. The first one is the assassination of Benigno Aquino Jr. in 1983. Second is the fraud during the 1986 presidential snap elections. The last one is the decades of oppressive and totalitarian rule. In conclusion, the declaration of martial law is regarded as the darkest event in our country's history, precipitating the People Power Revolution. The revolution teaches us to be brave and to fight for our freedom and democracy at all costs. We must learn to fight peacefully in accordance with due process and in a reasonable and just manner. For our last question, what made the EDSA People Power Revolution such a significant part of our history? You can respond to these questions by sharing your thoughts or leaving a comment in our Google Classroom. So, thank you everyone. This will be the end of my discussion.